It was just another crisp morning in the upper hills of Pacific Crest Avenue, where the air seemed to hum with the scent of money. Expensive cars lined pristine driveways, trimmed hedges stood tall like soldiers guarding secrets of luxury, and glass mansions reflected golden sunrays like trophies of success. One such mansion belonged to Ava Langston, an iron-willed businesswoman turned billionaire philanthropist, known for building her tech empire from scratch after surviving homelessness in her 20s. She was the face of power and elegance, her name printed in Forbes, her quotes splashed across motivational books. But what she didn't know was that today would test every ounce of her humanity. The intercom buzzed. She was sipping her organic green smoothie, reviewing merger emails when her assistant's voice crackled through. "There's a man at the gate, he says he wants to clean your garden for a plate of food." Ava raised her brows. "What?" she asked without looking up. "Did he say that word for word?" Her assistant confirmed. Ava placed her smoothie down, stood from the marble counter, and walked to the front surveillance screen. There he was. A disheveled man, wearing a stained hoodie and sun-bleached jeans, with a mop of messy brown hair and tired eyes that told a story longer than a novel. He wasn't holding a sign. He wasn't begging. He just stood there, politely, humbly, with a quiet desperation that didn't scream but whispered. Next to him stood a little girl, no older than 5, clutching a small stuffed rabbit, her coat far too thin for the cold morning. Ava stared at the screen. Something twisted inside her, a flicker of memory, a shadow of a moment from her own painful past. Without a word, she walked to the door, stepped into her heels, and pressed the gate unlock button. Her assistant blinked in confusion. The man didn't expect it to open. He took a small step back, then hesitantly walked forward, his daughter behind him. Ava met them near the stone steps of her porch. She looked at him with her arms folded. "You said you want to clean my garden, for food?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am," the man replied, voice dry from thirst. "Anything. I don't want money. Just a meal for my daughter. I can work for it. I'll rake leaves, mow the lawn, clean the whole property. Just one plate. She hasn't eaten in 2 days." The girl looked up at Ava. Big, innocent eyes. Her tiny lips were chapped. Her hands were red from the cold. Ava's throat tightened. "What's your name?" she asked, softer now. "Liam," he replied. "And this is Sophie." She stared at him a moment longer, then turned toward the house. "You'll eat first. Then we'll talk about the garden." Liam blinked. "Really?" Ava didn't answer. She just walked inside, leaving the door open. Liam hesitated, picked up Sophie, and followed her in. The smell of warmth hit them instantly, cinnamon, coffee, and comfort. Ava's home was vast but not cold. It was filled with books, art, and calm colors. She guided them to the kitchen, instructed the chef to prepare 2 hot meals, and sat across from them as they ate. Liam devoured his food slowly, trying not to look desperate. Sophie, on the other hand, munched like it was heaven. Ava observed them both, the way Liam always gave his daughter the bigger bite, the way he wiped her mouth gently, and the way he looked at the floor with quiet shame. She recognized that look. She had worn it once. "How long have you been on the street?" she asked. Liam swallowed. "Since winter started. I lost my job, construction company downsized. My wife died 3 years ago. I've been trying to hold on ever since. But no one wants to hire someone with a kid. They think I'll be unreliable. And the shelters? Full. Or dangerous. One tried to separate me and Sophie. I left." Ava nodded. Her fingers tapped the counter slowly. There was a long silence. Finally, she stood. "I'll give you 2 options. You can do the garden. And I'll pay you with food, just like you asked. Or," she paused, "you can help me with something else. Something I haven't trusted anyone with in a long time." Liam's brow furrowed. "What is it?" Ava walked him to the back room, a glass-walled solarium with dying plants and a covered piano. "This was my father's garden," she said. "He died 10 years ago. I stopped coming in here after I made it big. But now, I want to restore it. Not just the plants. The spirit. But I need someone who understands struggle. Who won't treat this like just another job. Liam stared at the garden. Why me? Because you asked to work. Not to beg. Liam nodded. Then I accept. From that day, he began working daily in the garden. Ava set up a guest house at the edge of her estate for him, and Sophie provided warm clothes and meals. The neighbors gossiped, why would a billionaire take in a homeless man and his daughter? But Ava didn't care. Over weeks, the garden bloomed under Liam's care. So did Sophie. She giggled, ran through the flower beds, and learned piano from Ava's private tutor. Meanwhile, Ava watched something incredible unfold. Liam had a gift, a natural, raw understanding of soil, rhythm, and restoration. His hands could turn dry leaves into poetry. The garden slowly became a sanctuary, not just for Ava's past, but for a struggling father's hope. One day, she walked out to find him building a wooden archway over a bench, shaping it from old reclaimed beams. That's beautiful, she said. Liam smiled, sweat on his brow. Sophie called it Hope's Gate. I thought it was fitting. Ava looked at him. You could build more than gardens. You ever thought of designing for others? He laughed. No one would hire me. She grinned. What if I did? He paused. To do what? Start a landscaping division under my foundation. We'll hire people like you, struggling parents, veterans, anyone who just needs a second chance. You lead it. Liam couldn't speak. Tears welled in his eyes. Sophie ran to his side and hugged his leg. Why would you do this for me? He asked. Ava's voice broke just slightly. Because years ago, I asked someone for a plate of food. And they gave me a job instead. As the sun set behind them, the garden bloomed in full, flowers swaying gently in the breeze, the air warm with second chances.